once again.
So hello and welcome back to this channel. I'm Michaela Eldrin and you are tuning into video 5 of a 6-part video series, and the entire series is based on your 6 mental faculties. Today's video is on the topic of your intuition. And if you've missed any of the previous videos and you'd like to catch up on them, the links are below for easy reference. So you can just click on whichever one you've missed, or you can start from the top if you missed all of them, and you can easily start watching the videos from there on. So, your intuition. What is your intuition? I think a lot of us are more familiar with the terminology, my gut feeling or your gut feeling. Your intuition is a little voice in your head. When you, maybe like, you must have experienced at some point in your life when you're about to leave the house and you don't have a jacket or an umbrella, and something says to you, hey, maybe I should take an umbrella with me, or I think I should take a jacket or a jersey with me. And you're like, nah, but the sun is shining, there's no way it's going to rain today, I'm not going to take it. Or there's no way it's going to get cold today, I'm not going to take it, and you leave. And then later on in the day, it rains or it gets cold, whatever, and you're like, oh man, I should have took the umbrella or the jacket or whatever, but I just didn't. I just sun was shining. Your intuition knows things that the human part of us doesn't know. Okay, it's a little voice that speaks to us very softly. My mentor calls it the still small voice, and she says it's as loud as you are willing to listen to it. It's as loud as you are willing to listen to it. So we're all familiar with our intuition, with your gut feeling, that still small voice that you hear speaking to you, but you're like, oh, no, man. It's like if you're going to climb a ladder and you're like, hey, maybe I should, and you're like, no, it's fine. And then there's something happens. There's something within you knew. Something within you knew. You know, I was in a relationship once. A very short-lived relationship. I think it was less than a month. But, with the interactions, because you start the dating, you start seeing this person a little bit more, and something was like, something's off. Like, I just had a feeling that something was off. I didn't know what, but something wasn't right. And I remember saying to this person, something is not right here. Because it was really, but I had no physical, concrete evidence of what wasn't right. There was just something that, like, something is not right here. And so far, really, something was not right. It turned out that this person that I was about to start seeing, like, because it wasn't hardly a month, was attempting to see me and someone else at the same time. Imagine. I'd never been in a situation like that before. But my point is, it was a new experience at that time. My point is, though, that there's something within me that knew something wasn't right. I didn't know what. The human side of me couldn't pinpoint what's not right here. Like, what's going on here? I couldn't. But there was something within me, within my being, that knew that something wasn't right. Your intuition. So think about a time when something was like, something, and you couldn't pinpoint your finger on it. But later on, it revealed itself, and you're like, I knew something wasn't right with whatever, X, Y, or Z. How often have you listened to that little voice, your intuition and gut feeling that you have? How often have you listened to it and been disappointed that you've listened to that little voice, your gut feeling, your intuition? Take a moment and think about it. Because I, for one, cannot pinpoint a single instance where I've listened to that little voice of mine, to my intuition, to my gut feeling, and been disappointed. I have, however, on numerous occasions, not listened to that still small voice, that intuition, my gut feeling. And man, I definitely wish I had listened to that gut feeling when eventually it came out. But for me, that short-lived relationship that I was in was a time when I I think for me, that was the biggest eye opener in terms of listening to my intuition, my gut feeling. That's something that is not right here. Because after that, if something doesn't feel right, I don't need an explanation on why it doesn't feel right. I don't care what the facts are, why it doesn't feel right. If something doesn't feel right, something is not right, and that's it. That's it. You gain more practice, more confidence in this listening to your intuition, to your gut feeling, as you practice it more often. For me, I found as I practice. So now, if there's something hanging on the washing line, and I'm like, I think I should take it off. But then I think, no, it's not going to be right now. Immediately, I'm like, let's just go and take it off. And I go in, I'll take the washing line off, and then it'll start raining. So I've gotten to that stage now where I'm definitely not 100% at it. There are some times where I don't listen. I'm like, there we go, didn't listen. But at least it's small things. But it's the small things where you get to practice listening to that voice and becoming more in tune, in harmony with that voice, so that you can identify it. And how are you going to know whether it's your intuition speaking to you, whether it's that small voice, whether it's your gut feelings telling you something is not right here? You don't know, I know something is not right here. It takes practice, because you develop a relationship with your intuition. It's the same thing as if my sister has to phone me, I know it's her. If she had to phone me from a different number, it doesn't have the caller ID on to say this is her, I will know it's her. And why will I know it's her? Because I'm familiar with her voice. I can hear her on the other side. Oh, it's you. I can hear the voice. It's the same type of relationship that you're going to build with your intuition as you practice listening to it. And please, I would love to know. You can comment below. Have you ever listened to your intuition and it's failed you? For me personally, I've never been let down by my intuition. I have let my intuition down on numerous occasions by not listening to it. So it's an internal guidance system that we have. Okay, our 6 mental faculties are very powerful tools, but we're very unskilled in how to use it. I myself am still developing my skills in it. There's different levels of your level of skillfulness in how you develop it, and it's never going to really end, because it's a continuous process. I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of times I wish I just knew all the things, and I wish that I was just continuously perfect in my execution of using these things. But I'm a human being at the end of the day as well. So there's parts of me that are not going to be so perfect at it all the time. But I'm leaning, and my goal is to be more using these tools constructively, more in, doing things that are into the benefit of my life, and less into that, default human side of me that's going to just, go astray a little bit. So it's a more less of game, because we're not going to be perfect at it all the time. It's the same thing like if you trying to change your eating habits. Oh, the first 2 days are great. You've been cooking, you're having your vegetables, and the meals are healthy, and there you have that one chocolate. Now you're like, man, I was doing so well, but it just, you don't have to be perfect at it all the time. My aim in any case is to be more towards what it is that I want, and less of what it is that I don't want. And that internal guidance system, I'm vouching for it on so many levels. That internal guidance system has never let me down. It has never let me down. But think about it in your own life. On when you've heard a little voice that said something is not right here, but you didn't have any concrete evidence or proof or facts to back it up. So you're like, nah. It's never wrong. It's never been wrong in my life. I highly doubt it's ever been wrong in your life. So think about it. And that's it from me. Video 5, intuition. If you get any value from these videos, if you like to get notified on when new videos are uploaded, please do subscribe. And I will be seeing you in the next video. The last video of this video series, actually. Video 6. So that's it from me, Michaela Aldrin. Bye!